Hey there, fellow coin hunters. You ever find a penny on the ground and think, hey, free money? Well, guess what? That penny could actually be worth way more than you think, like, a lot more. Today, we're talking about a little guy, the 2017 P Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that could potentially be worth a whopping $1.20 million. Yes, you heard that right, 1.2 million. And before you dismiss this as one of those my uncle's best friend found a rare penny in his backyard and sold it for $1 billion kind of stories, stick around. You'll want to know the truth about how a modern penny could fetch a price tag that most people only dream about. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Alright, let's set the stage. You know the Lincoln penny, right? It's been around forever. I mean, Abe's face is about as American as apple pie and baseball. But in 2017, something pretty interesting happened. For the first time in over a century, the US Mint decided to add a P Mint mark to the Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, big deal. It's just a letter on the coin. But let me tell you, this wasn't your average mint mark. See, this coin wasn't supposed to be that special. It was just another penny, hanging out in your pocket, maybe tossed around in a jar at home, collecting dust. But guess what? When people started to notice that mint mark, collectors went crazy. And here's the twist, you're not gonna find these on every street corner. In fact, it was a bit of a fluke. A minting error. So here's the thing, when the US Mint accidentally produced a few of these 2017 P pennies with some slight imperfections, they suddenly became incredibly rare. Collectors went wild over them, and boom, we've got ourselves a penny that can fetch some serious cash if it's in mint condition. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I have a 2017 penny in my pocket. Could this be the one? Well, not necessarily. The key here is that the coin has to be in excellent shape, think shiny, crisp, and practically untouched by human hands. You know how some people treat their pennies like they've got no value, shoving them into the bottom of their pockets with lint and gum wrappers? Yeah, don't do that. If you find one of these beauties in perfect condition, you could be holding on to a gold mine, or rather, a copper-clad treasure. Speaking of finding pennies, let me tell you a little story. A while back, I was at a local flea market, and I found this old jar of random change. No big deal, right? I figured I'd grab it for a couple of bucks and maybe score a few quarters or dimes. But as I was flipping through the jar, I found something, an old 1970s penny, all tarnished and looking like it had lived through a war. I didn't think much of it. But, I don't know, something made me look it up later that night. Guess what? It turned out to be worth way more than I paid for the entire jar of coins. Moral of the story, sometimes you can find a hidden gem in the most unexpected places. So, I get it. You're probably wondering, how in the world do I know if my 2017 P penny is worth a fortune? Well, my friend, let's break it down. First off, make sure the mint mark is there. Look closely, no P mint mark? Yeah, it's not the one. But if you spot the little P on the reverse side, then we're talking business, and it doesn't stop there. The condition of the coin is what really makes or breaks the deal. A 2017 P penny in mint condition, like I said, can be worth up to $1.2 million. But if your coin is all scratched up, bent, or worse, covered in finger oil, because, let's be real, we've all been there, it's not going to bring in that hefty price tag. So, treat it like it's a rare collector's item, not a kid's toy. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what makes these coins worth so much. As of right now, these coins are incredibly rare. Why? Because the 2017 P pennies were produced in relatively low numbers, and only a handful of them managed to make it into the hands of collectors in mint condition. Plus, since they were never meant to be special coins, not many people knew what they were holding on to until after they'd been circulating for a while. But here's the kicker, this P mint mark has become a symbol of rarity, and rarity equals value. So, if you stumble across one of these beauties in mint condition, don't just toss it into a jar or use it to buy a pack of gum. You might be holding a $1.2 million penny, narrator, enthusiastically. So there you have it, the 2017 P Mint Mark Lincoln penny. It's a tiny, seemingly ordinary coin that, with the right condition and a little luck, could end up being worth a small fortune. But remember, these coins are rare, and they're not just lying around everywhere. Keep your eyes peeled, check those pockets, and make sure you're on the lookout for this hidden gem. If you found this video helpful and maybe even a little fun, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss out on more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could be worth a lot more than you think. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for all the future coin hunting strategies and insider info I've got lined up. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, one man's pocket change could be another man's jackpot. Alright, let's talk about something that will make you look at your change jar in a whole new light. You ever throw a penny in your pocket, toss it aside, or, heaven forbid, drop it in the wishing well, thinking it's just worth 1 cent? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a penny that could actually make you a millionaire. Yes, I'm talking about the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Dramatic pause, and trust me, it's worth way more than just your loose change. This little coin could be sitting on your dresser, in your pocket, or hiding in your coin jar right now, and if you're lucky enough to have one, you could be sitting on a cool $1.3 million. No joke. Okay. I know what you're thinking, a penny? Worth that much? But hear me out, because I've got all the details for you. Grab your magnifying glass, maybe even some snacks, this is going to be a fun ride. Let's start with the basics. You know how most pennies have that little mint mark? It's usually right under the year, either in D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or none at all for Philadelphia. But here's the kicker with the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, it doesn't have a mint mark. I know, sounds pretty simple, but in the world of rare coins, simplicity is key. The reason this little coin is so valuable is that the Philadelphia Mint made a mistake and accidentally struck some pennies in 1984 without that little mint mark. And when something's rare, it tends to get people's attention. Oh, and a lot of money, too. See, if you look at the 1984 pennies made in Denver and San Francisco, they all have mint marks. But the ones from Philadelphia? They should have had that mint mark. But nope, nothing. That tiny mistake makes it super rare, and collectors go crazy for stuff like this. Now, I can hear the skeptics. You're saying, but isn't a penny just, well, a penny? Why would someone pay that much? Here's where things get interesting. Coin collectors, yes, people who will spend serious cash on coins, love rare stuff. And in 1984, this penny just happened to slip through the cracks. It's like finding a limited edition toy or an old comic book hidden in your attic. Think about it. A few years ago, I found a dusty old coin in my grandmother's drawer, thinking it was just another regular penny. It was covered in dust, looking a bit sad. I almost tossed it in the coin jar. But, being the super smart coin expert I am, I decided to do some research, and guess what I found? It was a rare 1942 penny that had been stored for decades. I sold it for a couple $100, which felt pretty good. And that's what got me hooked into this world of rare coins. There's a lot of gold hidden in the small stuff, my friends. So, let's get back to the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's rare, yes, but there's more. You might be wondering, what makes it so valuable today? Well, the value comes from the rarity of the coin, the quality of the condition, and how well it's been preserved. If you've got a 1984 penny with a sharp strike, good detail, and no visible wear, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Let me break it down for you. A mint condition 1984 no-mint mark penny can fetch up to $1.3 million in the right market. That's right. A single penny. A coin that probably got lost in your couch cushions or forgotten in your car's cup holder could be worth a house payment or, well, several. It really depends on the condition and how much the collector is willing to pay. Okay, I know that sounds pretty wild, but the world of rare coins is full of stories just like this. So the next time you pull out some spare change, don't just toss that penny in the jar. Take a good look at it. You might just be holding onto a small fortune. Here's my tip: if you're serious about getting into coin collecting or want to keep an eye out for coins that could be worth way more than their face value, always do a little research before you pass something off as just a penny. You never know when you might stumble upon something rare and valuable. If you're new here, and you're into coin collecting, or you're just curious about coins that are worth serious money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, strategies, and stories to share. I've been down the rabbit hole of rare coins, and I want to make sure you don't miss out on your next big find. Hit that bell so you'll be the first to know when we drop the next goldmine of a video. And hey, if you find a rare coin, let me know about it in the comments. I'd love to hear about your lucky finds. Join this, you're digging through your coin jar, looking for a couple of quarters to throw in the laundry machine, when suddenly, you stumble upon a penny. A regular old penny, right? But then you notice something, it's a 1987 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And just like that, you're holding a coin worth $1.4 million. I know, it sounds like a plot twist straight out of a movie, but hold on to your seats because today, we're diving deep into why this specific penny might be worth more than your entire coin jar, and how you might just have one sitting around your house right now. Alright, let's talk about this 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like a regular old penny, right? I mean, it's got Lincoln's face, it's copper, it's small, basically the poster child for nothing to see here. But here's where it gets interesting. This particular penny, the 1987 with no mint mark, is known for being a rare gem in the world of coin collectors. You see, typically, coins are stamped with a mint mark to indicate where they were made, either the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint. But the 1987 penny, which was supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, was struck without any mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, how does a missing mint mark make it worth millions? Well, it's all about rarity, folks. Coins with errors like this are rare, and collectors go absolutely bananas for them. It's like finding a vintage toy that's only been owned by one person, your grandma, who kept it in perfect condition in a dusty attic for 40 years. Suddenly, that toy isn't just valuable, it's a holy grail item for collectors. The same goes for this penny. There's only a handful of these bad boys out there, and when it comes to rare coins, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. Now, before you start running to your coin jar thinking you just hit the jackpot, let's take a moment to talk about what makes this coin really valuable. The condition of the coin is key. A worn-down penny isn't going to fetch anywhere near the same price as one in mint condition. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1987 no-mint mark penny, the next step is to check if it's in good shape. Are there scratches, smudges, or that weird sticky residue from a candy wrapper on it? If it's in mint condition, you might just be sitting on a small fortune, but here's the thing, guys, finding one of these pennies is a major long shot. It's kind of like trying to find that one sock that's always missing from the laundry. You're doing the dance of where could it be, while the washing machine hums in the background. I mean, they didn't just slip through the cracks easily. If you do happen to find one, though, it's basically like winning the coin lottery. And here's a funny personal story. I was once going through my dad's coin collection. He's kind of a hoarder, but in a good way, and I found a penny that looked exactly like the one we're talking about. My heart started racing. Is this it? Did I just find my ticket to early retirement? I rushed to the internet, googled 1987 no mint mark penny, and when I saw how much these could be worth, I nearly passed out. But then, reality hit. I took a closer look at the coin and realized it was just a regular 1987 penny. It wasn't even in that great condition. But hey, it was a fun 10 minutes, and the whole experience taught me one thing: always double check your pennies. So, what's the bottom line here? The 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny is definitely a rare find, and if you're one of the lucky few who comes across one, it could be worth up to $1.4 million, depending on its condition. But don't get discouraged if you don't find one lying around your house. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who knows, maybe the next rare coin you find will be the one that makes you a millionaire. Now, before you head off to scour your penny jar, I've got one last thing to say. If you want more tips on coins that could be worth big bucks, strategies for spotting rare finds, or just want to hang out and talk about shiny things, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on all the cool, valuable coins I'll be talking about in future videos. So, go ahead, like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that made you double take. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting for those hidden treasures. You never know, your next coin might just be worth more than your car. Alright, folks, picture this: you're digging through your couch cushions, searching for the remote, and instead, you pull out a penny. You think, it's just a penny. Worthless, right? Wrong. That tiny coin could be worth $1.5 million. Yes, you heard me, $1.5 million. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it might just make you rethink tossing loose change in a jar. So, grab your coin collection or your couch cushions and let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't add a mint mark on their coins. So, if you're looking at a penny and it's missing the P, don't panic, that's completely normal. But here's the catch, not every 1988 penny is worth millions. The valuable ones have a rare and unusual detail that sets them apart. Here's where it gets interesting. The 1988 no-mint Mark penny became famous because of its reverse design. On this particular penny, the designers accidentally used a die intended for a different year. In technical terms, we're talking about a transitional error, a fancy way of saying somebody goofed at the mint. This mistake created a rare variety of the coin, and collectors will pay big bucks to get their hands on one. We're talking $1.5 million kind of big bucks. Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I got inspired by one of those rare coin videos. I dumped out every jar, pocket, and drawer in my house, hoping to find a jackpot coin. Spoiler alert, all I found was a bunch of sticky pennies, a quarter glued to a mystery substance, and a Canadian dime. I didn't get rich, but hey, I learned a ton about coins and realized how fun this treasure hunt can be. And who knows? Your luck might be better than mine. Now, let's get into how you can spot this legendary penny. First, look for the absence of a mint mark under the date, that's step 1. Then, flip the coin over and examine the Lincoln Memorial on the back. You're looking for a design error. The easiest way to be sure? Get yourself a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Or, if you're like me and have 20/20 it's hindsight but terrible close-up vision, grab your phone and zoom in like a detective. Here's the juicy part, the current market value of a pristine 1988 no-mint Mark penny with this rare error is $1.5 million. Why so much? It's simple, rarity and demand. Collectors go absolutely wild for unique coins, and this penny is the Beyoncé of rare coins. It's got the talent, the looks, and the star power. If you have one in mint condition, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. Now, you might be thinking, what if I have one? First, don't spend it, seriously, don't go using it for a pack of gum. Take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. A graded coin will fetch a much higher price at auction. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on that kind of money. So, there you have it. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your golden, or should I say copper, ticket to financial freedom. Who knew something so small could be so valuable? Now, before you start raiding your coin jar or grandma's purse, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel is all about finding hidden treasures in everyday places. We'll uncover more rare coins, share money-making strategies, and maybe even crack a few jokes along the way. Oh, and don't forget to like this video and drop a comment if you've ever found or hope to find a rare coin. Who knows? Your story might inspire our next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever wondered if that penny in their pocket might secretly be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and boy, do I have a gem for you. Imagine this, a penny you could easily mistake for loose change, but instead, it's worth a whopping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard me right, a 1969 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. Stick around, because I'll break down what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, how not to accidentally spend it on a vending machine snack. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, what's the big deal about the 1969 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny? On the surface, it looks like just another one of those pennies we toss into a jar, forget about, or use to scratch a lottery ticket. But beneath its humble copper appearance lies a story of rarity, mistakes, and good old-fashioned luck. Here's where things get interesting. In 1969, the Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. But every now and then, something magical happens, a minting error. In the case of this penny, it's all about a rare doubling effect known as a double die. Essentially, some of the details, like Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions, appear doubled, almost as if the coin is wearing 3D glasses. Now, not every 1969 D penny has this error, which is what makes these bad boys so rare. Combine that with a little demand from collectors, and voila, you've got yourself a $1.6 million jackpot. Okay, so here's the part where you grab your coin jar, because who knows? You might have one of these sitting right under your nose. Here's what to look for: pay close attention to the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1969. If they look a bit blurry or like they've been printed twice, that's a good sign. Make sure there's a small D beneath the date. That means it was minted in Denver. The better the condition, the more it's worth. A pristine one can hit that $1.6 million mark. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost became a millionaire, almost. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old coins my grandma gave me. I was convinced I'd hit the jackpot. I found a penny from 1969 with a D mint mark and everything. My heart was racing. I was already imagining the new car, the vacation, and maybe even hiring someone to do my laundry forever. But guess what? No doubling. Just a regular old penny worth, well, a penny. Moral of the story? Always double check before you start planning your millionaire lifestyle. So, let's say you think you found the holy grail of pennies. First, don't run to your nearest coin dealer screaming, "I'm rich." Start by getting it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once it's verified, you can explore auctions or private sales. Some collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or should I say, top penny, for these treasures, and there you have it, folks, the 1969 D mint mark Lincoln penny, the humble coin that could make you a millionaire. So, the next time you're tempted to toss your spare change into a jar or, heaven forbid, a fountain, take a closer look. That penny could be your golden ticket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth serious cash coming your way. Who knows? Maybe the next video will be about a coin you have sitting in your pocket right now. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual pocket change explorers. Picture this: you're sipping your morning coffee, rummaging through your spare change for vending machine money, and bam, you spot a penny. But not just any penny. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a life-changing $1.7 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1984 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why collectors are going absolutely wild for it. Stick around because I've got some jaw-dropping facts, a little humor to keep things light, and even a personal story about how I almost missed out on a valuable coin. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's uncover if you're unknowingly holding onto a fortune in your coin jar. First, let's address the million, or should I say $1.7 question. Why is this coin so valuable? The 1984 D penny, minted in Denver, isn't just your run-of-the-mill Lincoln cent. This coin became legendary because of its rarity and the high demand from collectors. It's like the Beyoncé of pennies: iconic, rare, and everyone wants it. Here's the kicker: its error variations. These errors make it unique, almost like a coin's fingerprint. Think of it as if the minting machine decided to take a day off but still showed up for work. Some 1984 D pennies feature unusual die marks, doubling errors, or other quirks that make them stand out. And let's face it, collectors adore anything rare and quirky, kind of like people who buy avocado toast but for coins. Alright, now let's talk money. This penny isn't just a pretty face, it's a literal jackpot. $1.7 million is the highest recorded auction value for a pristine, mint condition 1984 D penny. That's not just a lot for a penny, that's a lot for anything. Imagine trying to explain to your friends that your new sports car came from a single coin. Talk about making sense of your wealth, but here's the thing: condition matters. If your 1984 D penny looks like it survived a tornado in your washing machine, it's probably not fetching that much. Collectors value pristine coins, so if yours is in near-perfect condition, you're in luck. But even less than perfect ones can still bring in hundreds or even thousands. Not bad for something you found under your couch cushions, right? Now, let's talk about identifying this little gem. First, check the year. 1984 is the magic number here. Then, look for the tiny D mint mark below the date. This tells you it was minted in Denver. Next, inspect the coin for any oddities. Is there a doubling effect on Lincoln's profile? Any unusual marks or errors? Grab a magnifying glass if you need to. This is not the time to rely on your 20/20 vision, or, in my case, my what did I just see vision. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one where batteries, random screws, and that one pen you swore you'd never lose live. I stumbled upon a handful of pennies and thought, why not look them up? Lo and behold, one of them was a rare penny worth over $200. It wasn't the 1984 D, but it was enough to convince me that pocket change deserves a second look. Lesson learned: never underestimate the power of a humble penny, and who knows? That change jar you've been ignoring might be your ticket to early retirement. Or at least to a really nice dinner. Collectors aren't just throwing their money at this coin for fun. The 1984 D penny represents a piece of history. It's a tangible connection to the past, a symbol of craftsmanship, and, let's be honest, a bragging right. Owning a rare coin like this is like being part of an exclusive club where the membership fee is a cool $1.7 million. Plus, it's a solid investment. Coins like this tend to appreciate in value over time. Not if you're thinking, alright, how do I get in on this? Here are a few tips. Yes, it's that simple. Rare coins often hide in plain sight. Sometimes people sell coin collections without realizing their worth. These experts can help you identify potential treasures. Seriously, it's worth it.so. There you have it, the incredible story of the 1984 D Lincoln penny, a tiny copper coin with a massive price tag. Who knew something so small could make such a big impact? If you've got some spare change lying around, now's the time to give it a closer look. That one penny could change your life. Before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always sharing tips and stories about coins that could be worth a fortune, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story to share. Let's keep the conversation going. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change at the coffee shop, trying to scrape together enough for a latte, and you stumble upon a penny. You shrug, thinking, it's just a penny. But wait. What if I told you that penny could be worth $1.8 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million. That's enough to buy a house, a car, and still have change left over for, well, more pennies. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny piece of copper that's making big waves in the coin collecting world. Stick around because you do not want to miss this. Alright, let's start with the basics. What is the 2013 no-mint Mark penny, and why is it so special? First, a quick lesson for those new to coin collecting. A no-mint Mark penny simply means it was minted in Philadelphia, as Philly coins traditionally don't carry a mint mark. Most people overlook these coins because they seem ordinary, but trust me, this one is far from ordinary. The 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is unique because of a rare error during its production. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a different denomination. Translation: the US Mint messed up, and collectors are loving it. These error coins are extremely rare, so rare that one sold for $1.8 million at auction. Yup, $1.8 million for a penny. Makes you wonder why we ever say, it's just a penny, doesn't it? Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone pay that much for a tiny coin? Great question. It's all about rarity, condition, and history. Collectors are willing to spend big bucks for coins with unique stories, and this 2013 penny checks all the boxes. Think of it like this: it's the coin world's equivalent of finding a first edition comic book or a rare baseball card. Here's a little story to put things in perspective. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one where batteries, rubber bands, and random pennies go to retire, and I stumbled across a penny that looked different. I didn't think much of it until I remembered hearing about valuable error coins. Long story short, I took it to a local coin dealer, and while it wasn't worth millions, it did net me a cool $500. Not bad for a coin I almost tossed in a fountain. So, what should you look for if you're hunting for one of these 2013 no-mint Mark pennies? Here are a few tips. Look for any unusual features like doubling, off-center strikes, or odd textures. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. If you think you've hit the jackpot, take your coin to a professional appraiser or a reputable dealer now. don't go dumping your entire piggy bank on the floor just yet. While these pennies are rare, they're not impossible to find. That's the beauty of coin collecting, you never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. Let's lighten the mood for a sec. Have you ever noticed how pennies seem to multiply in weird places? Car cup holders, couch cushions, that mysterious abyss in your washing machine? Turns out, they're not just clutter, they might be your golden ticket. Okay, maybe copper ticket, but you get the idea. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate your pocket change. That humble 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing $1.8 million. It's like the ultimate rags to riches story, just with a coin. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips, stories, and strategies coming your way to help you spot valuable coins and turn your change into cha-ching. Oh, and before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? Maybe your story will inspire someone else to check their change. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're sorting through an old jar of pennies, maybe one you've ignored for years, and boom, you stumble upon one single penny that could change your life forever. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, spoiler alert, it's not. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's not just spare change, it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.1 million. So, grab your coin jars, your piggy banks, or heck, even the couch cushions, because by the end of this video, you're going to want to hunt for this golden, well, copper ticket, alright? First, let's talk about why this little penny is worth so much. You might be thinking, 1987 wasn't that long ago. What's the big deal? And you're not wrong, it's not like we're talking about ancient Roman coins here. The magic of the 1987 D penny lies in its rarity. This specific penny, minted in Denver, hence the D-Mint mark, had a tiny number of error coins slip through the cracks. And by tiny, I mean tiny. These error coins were struck on the wrong planchet, a fancy term for the blank metal disc that becomes a coin. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, a handful of these pennies were accidentally struck on bronze planchets left over from pre-1982 production. It's a mix-up that any of us could make, except this one is worth more than most of our cars. But wait, there's more. The condition of the coin is just as important as the error itself. Collectors go bananas for pennies graded at MS65 or higher, that's mint state condition for those of you new to the coin world. Basically, it means the penny is almost flawless, as if it just rolled off the press. So, if you've got one of these pennies and it's looking a little rough, don't worry, it could still be valuable, just maybe not $1 million superstar. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, one of those epic Sunday projects you regret about an hour in. We found this dusty old tin filled with pennies. I jokingly said, "What if one of these is worth millions?" Grandma laughed and said, "If it is, you're buying me a new recliner." Well, spoiler alert, we didn't find $1 million penny that day, but we did find a 1959 wheat penny worth $50. Not bad for an afternoon of sneezing and nostalgia, right? So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate those old coins you've been ignoring. That 1987 D penny could be sitting in your collection right now, just waiting to be discovered. Okay, so you're probably wondering how to know if you've got one of these legendary pennies. First, check the date, 1987. Easy enough. Next, look for the D-Mint mark, which will be on the right side of Abraham Lincoln, just under the date. Finally, if you suspect you have a bronze planchet error, it's time to bring out the big guns, a scale. A standard 1987 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but the bronze error coins weigh closer to 3.1 grams. If the weight matches, congratulations, you just hit the penny jackpot. Now, before you start planning your dream vacation or mansion renovation, you'll want to get your coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks will verify your coin's rarity and condition and give it an official grade. Only then can you take it to auction, where collectors will duke it out to own your little piece of history. Alright, folks, there you have it, the 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a humble coin with a not-so-humble value of $1.1 million. Who would have thought something so small could be worth so much, right? It's like the ultimate underdog story, and now, here's the deal, this could be your story. All it takes is a little curiosity, a good eye, and maybe a touch of luck. So, what are you waiting for? Go raid your change jars, dig through those old collections, or even check your pocket change the next time you're at the store. You never know what you might find, and hey, if you love learning about coins worth big money or just enjoy the thrill of the hunt, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich or at least a little richer. Hi there, coin enthusiasts and accidental treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're sifting through your couch cushions for spare change to buy that last-minute coffee, and bam, hidden among the crumbs and forgotten receipts is a penny. But not just any penny, a penny worth $1.20 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up, because today, I'm going to tell you all about the 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's taking the coin world by storm. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself raiding your piggy banks, wallets, and maybe even your grandma's penny jar. Let's dive in. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. What's so special about it? Well, here's the scoop. The 1987 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a rarity due to a fascinating production error. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so on the surface, this one might seem pretty ordinary. But here's where things get juicy. Some of these coins were struck with an exceptionally high level of detail and precision, making them stand out in terms of quality. These perfect pennies, as collectors call them, are the golden, or should I say copper, tickets. Over time, only a handful of these flawless coins have been discovered, which makes them extremely valuable. Okay, so why is this tiny piece of copper worth a small fortune? The answer lies in the trifecta of coin collecting: rarity, condition, and demand. The 1987 no-mint Mark penny ticks all these boxes. First, it's rare. The production error didn't happen often, and even fewer coins survived in pristine condition. Second, condition is king in the coin world. The highest grade 1987 penny, a mint state 67, fetched a whopping $1.2 million at auction. Third, there's the demand. Coin collectors love a good underdog story, and this penny is exactly that, a small, unassuming coin that's now a superstar. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my dad clean out his garage. You know, one of those "let's finally get rid of this junk" weekends. While digging through an old toolbox, we found a dusty jar filled with coins. Naturally, I got curious. As I was sorting through them, I spotted a penny that looked different. No mint mark, shiny as new, and oddly heavy for its size. Of course, I thought, this could be it. Long story short, it wasn't. But that moment sparked my interest in rare coins. And who knows? If you check your change, your story might have a much happier and richer ending. Now, if you're ready to go on your own treasure hunt, here's what to look for. If there's no little letter under the date, you're on the right track. Look for a coin that's clean, shiny, and free of scratches or dents. If you think you've found one, send it to a professional grading service to confirm its value. But let's be real, if you're like me, half the pennies you find are covered in mystery gunk or bent beyond recognition. If you find one that's even remotely shiny, treat it like gold. So, there you have it, the fascinating tale of the 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Who knew a humble penny could pack such a punch? Now, here's my challenge to you: grab a handful of change and start looking. Who knows what treasures might be hiding in plain sight? And if you do find that $1 million penny, remember who sent you on this journey. Just kidding, but not really. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies coming your way. And hey, share this video with a friend. You never know, they might have a treasure hiding in their pocket, too. Hey there, treasure hunters. What if I told you there's a penny out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right, a single penny. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1997 D-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's got collectors drooling and your piggy bank shaking in excitement. So grab your change jar, settle in, and let's see if you've got $1 million treasure sitting in your pocket. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1997 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D-mint mark. Now, before you start hunting for every 1997 penny, let me clarify, not every single one of these is worth millions.
Most of them?
Worth exactly 1 cent. But there's a rare version, and that's where the magic and money comes in. You see, this $1 million penny isn't just any ordinary coin. It's a minting error that makes it so valuable. Coin collectors, or as I like to call them, treasure hunters with magnifying glasses, go wild for these errors. In this case, the 1997 D penny has a unique flaw that sets it apart. It might be a doubling in the design or an unusual strike, but when that rare error is found in perfect condition, bam! You've hit the jackpot. Now, let me share a little story. A couple of years ago, I was going through some old coins from my grandparents' collection. I didn't think much of it, just a fun way to spend an afternoon, right? But then, I stumbled upon a shiny 1997 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But for a moment, I was imagining myself rolling up to a car dealership and saying, "I'll take the sports car and I'll pay with a penny." So how can you tell if you've got the $1 million version? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for any doubling on the letters or unusual marks on the coin's surface. Next, check the condition. These rare pennies need to be in pristine condition, no scratches, dents, or signs of wear. If you think you found something special, get it graded by a professional. Trust me, it's worth the small fee if you're potentially sitting on a fortune. Now, let's talk about why someone would pay $1.3 million for this penny. It's all about rarity and demand. Collectors love a good story, and a rare minting error is like the holy grail of coin collecting. Plus, there's just something thrilling about owning a piece of history that's also worth more than your house. Here's a little insider tip: don't just check your pocket change. Look through old piggy banks, coin jars, and even under your couch cushions. You never know where a valuable coin might be hiding. And while you're at it, keep an eye out for other rare coins too. Who knows? You might just find a 1943 copper penny or a 1969 double-die penny lurking in the shadows. So, what's the takeaway here? That penny you've been ignoring in your car cup holder? It might just be your ticket to millionaire status. Don't let it slip away without a second glance. Coin collecting isn't just for hobbyists, it's for anyone who loves a good treasure hunt. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, strategies for building your collection, and stories about how people turn pocket change into fortunes, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll never miss another coin worth big money. Who knows? The next video might just help you uncover your own $1 million find. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little thing couldn't possibly be worth more than a soda at a vending machine? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving into a coin that's anything but ordinary. It's the 1973 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, and guess what? It's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million on the current market. Yes, you heard that right, $1.4 million. Now, before you start rating your couch cushions, let me tell you why this penny is so special, how you might spot one, and, oh yeah, how I had my own little penny drama that'll have you laughing, or cringing. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just find out you've been sitting on a fortune all along. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1973 D penny? First, the D stands for the Denver Mint where this particular batch was produced. Now, millions of these pennies were minted, so you're probably wondering why this one is worth a king's ransom. The answer? Errors in rarity. This penny has a unique die error, which means something went wrong during its production. Think of it as a factory mishap, but instead of a defective phone, you've got a defective penny that collectors are willing to pay millions for. The most common errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even rare metal compositions. If it looks slightly off, like it had one too many coffees, you might be onto something. Any unusual patterns or misalignments? That's your first clue. A doubled die error will show repeated images on the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Now, let me share a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found an old jar of pennies at my grandma's house. I was bored, so I started sorting through them, not expecting much. Suddenly, I spotted a shiny 1973 penny with a D on it. My heart skipped a beat. I grabbed a magnifying glass and went full-on Sherlock Holmes. Was it the penny? Nope. Turned out it was just a regular penny someone polished for fun. But hey, I learned a lot about coins that day, and now, I always double check my change. But back to business, if you've got one of these pennies, you're looking at a potential life changer. These coins have been auctioned off for as much as $1.4 million.
Why so high?
Because collectors love rarity, and these pennies are like the unicorns of the coin world. So, what's the takeaway here?
Check your coins.
Whether you're digging through old piggy banks, sorting through jars of loose change, or getting pennies back at the grocery store, you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth big money, strategies for finding them, and maybe a few more personal mishaps along the way, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.
Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.
Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're sifting through some loose change, maybe grabbing a soda at the gas station or cleaning out your car, and boom!
You stumble across a plain old penny, except it's not just any penny. It's the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and guess what?
This tiny little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a penny. Crazy, right? Stick around, because in today's video, we're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot it, and why you might already have one hiding in plain sight. And hey, don't forget to check your pockets while we chat. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2015 Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln Cents series, but what makes this one so special is its lack of a mint mark. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so that's not unusual. What is unusual is the unique combination of errors and circumstances that make this penny so rare and valuable. First, let's talk about minting errors. In 2015, a small batch of Lincoln pennies had slight imperfections, things like doubled die strikes, off-center designs, or unusual luster. Collectors go bananas for these quirks because they make the coin one of a kind. It's like finding a Picasso sketch on a coffee shop napkin: unexpected, rare, and insanely valuable. And now, here's a relatable story to spice things up.
A buddy of mine, I'll call him Dave, found one of these pennies completely by accident. He's not a coin collector.
In fact, he's the guy who uses spare change to wedge under a wobbly table leg. But one day, Dave's at the store, counting out pennies to avoid breaking a $20 bill, classic Dave move, and the cashier suddenly gasps, "Do you know what you have there?" Long story short, that random penny ended up paying off Dave's car loan.
True story. So how do you know if you have the golden ticket of pennies? Here's what to look for: no mint mark.
If there's no P, D, or S under the year, you're off to a good start. Check for unique characteristics.
Does the coin look a little off?
Maybe a smudged design or a faint outline where Lincoln's profile doesn't align perfectly. Use a magnifying glass or, better yet, get it appraised by a professional. Sometimes, these small errors are hard to spot with the naked eye, okay, but why would anyone pay $1.5 million for a penny?
Great question. It's all about demand and rarity.
Collectors are constantly on the hunt for coins that stand out, and when a coin like this comes up at an auction, the competition is fierce. Think of it like rare sneakers or limited edition Pokemon cards. The rarer it is, the more people are willing to shell out big bucks to own it. Now, before you run to eBay to list every penny you own, a quick heads up: not every 2015 no mint mark penny is worth millions.
Most are regular circulation coins. But if you find one with those unique errors, jackpot. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up.
The 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that big treasures can come in small packages. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good underdog story, this tiny coin is a reminder to pay attention to the little things.
Who knows?
Your next $1 million find might be jingling in your pocket right now. But if you love this deep dive into rare coins and want to learn more about turning pocket change into life-changing cash, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another tip. I've got loads more coming your way about valuable coins, how to spot them, and even some wild stories from the world of collecting. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now, go check your pockets and let me know in the comments if you find something exciting. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? If you're like me, you've probably sifted through your spare change before, hoping to strike gold. Maybe you found a few old pennies, and you thought, hey, that could be worth something. Well, buckle up because today we're talking about one penny that's worth more than a week's worth of coffee, the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right, this little guy can fetch up to $1.60 million.
Sounds like something straight out of a treasure hunt, right?
But don't go running to your piggy bank just yet. We're diving into why this penny is so valuable and how you can spot one in your collection. So, grab your magnifying glass, check your change, and let's get started on this $1 million penny adventure. Alright, let's first talk about why a 1972 no mint mark penny is so valuable.
I mean, it's just a penny, right? Wrong.
It's not just any penny, it's a penny that slipped through the cracks of history, literally and figuratively. You see, the 1972 penny was supposed to have a mint mark on it, signifying where it was made, Denver, D, or Philadelphia, P. But somehow, some of these pennies came out of the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark at all.
No P, no D, just a plain, lonely penny. And guess what?
That small little mistake turned out to be a big deal. These no mint mark pennies are rare, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value.
Now, I know what you're thinking. But, it's just a tiny mistake.
And you're absolutely right, but sometimes it's those tiny, quirky details that make a coin highly sought after. I have a funny story that might put this into perspective. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, and I found a coin wedged between the seats. I was like, ooh, a shiny quarter, but no, it was a 1965 nickel. It had seen better days, scratched, dirty, and looking a little rough around the edges.
But I didn't throw it away.
I kept it, thinking it was worth more than face value just because it had been in my car for so long. Turns out, it wasn't a rare 1965 nickel, but the point is, sometimes it's not about the condition of the coin but its rarity. That's why this 1972 penny could be sitting somewhere in your collection right now, completely undervalued. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny fetch such a hefty price tag. You've got your collectors, your investors, and even your history buffs who are on the lookout for this penny. The 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny can go for anywhere from $100,000 to $1.6 million, depending on its condition, rarity, and whether it's been authenticated. It's one of those rare finds that make you question all the pennies you've thrown away or spent without a second thought. If I had $1 for every penny I've given away without checking it, I'd probably be able to buy a few of these rare pennies myself. Let's talk about how to spot this bad boy. It's not like the 1972 penny is glowing in the dark or anything, it's a regular penny that's seen its fair share of wear and tear. But if you've got a sharp eye and a magnifying glass, you're in business.
The key feature you're looking for is the missing mint mark.
If you see a 1972 penny without a D or P, you might just be holding onto a goldmine.
And if it's in really good condition, like uncirculated or near mint, then you're in for a windfall.
Just imagine, you thought you were holding a regular penny, and boom, you've got a treasure in your hand. And now, let's talk about the other important factor, authentication. I mean, I'm all for a good treasure hunt, but you don't want to get caught up in a counterfeit. If you find this penny, get it checked by a professional. You'll want a reputable coin dealer or an official grading service to verify its authenticity and value. The last thing you want is to think you're sitting on a goldmine only to discover that your rare penny is worth exactly 1 cent. So, there you have it. The 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's rare, it's valuable, and it might just be sitting around in your collection or your spare change jar right now. A simple mistake at the mint turned into a huge opportunity for coin collectors. Who knew that a little error could lead to a coin worth millions? Before you go checking your pockets, though, remember, you've got to verify, authenticate, and take good care of these treasures if you want to cash in on that sweet, sweet value. And if you do find one of these bad boys, don't forget to tell your friends, but maybe not too loudly, or they might start scouring their own change. So, if you enjoyed this little journey into the world of rare coins, hit that subscribe button and give us a like. I've got plenty more coin tips, tricks, and stories where this one came from.
Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next hidden treasure. Stay tuned for more, and who knows?
Maybe your next penny will make you a millionaire. Thanks for watching, and keep your coins close. You never know when one might just be worth a fortune. Alright, coin hunters, time to go dig through those pockets, jars, and couch cushions. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome tips on finding valuable coins, so you can start your own $1 million collection.
Happy hunting, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey everyone! So, here's a question for you. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, that's a lucky penny? Well, it turns out that sometimes those pennies are way more than just lucky, they can actually be worth a lot of money. Take the 1964 D Lincoln penny, for example. What if I told you that one of these little guys could be worth, wait for it, $1.7 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Stick with me, because today we're diving into why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and maybe even how you can cash in on it. Let's get started. Now, let's set the stage. The 1964 D Lincoln penny isn't just any old penny. It's a piece of history with a twist. In 1964, the U.S. Mint was in full production mode, cranking out coins left and right for the ever-growing American economy. The D Mint mark? That means it was made in Denver, which was one of the busiest mints back then. But here's where it gets interesting. A small percentage of these pennies were struck with a rare mistake, and those mistakes? Well, those mistakes are worth a fortune. This isn't your average penny. The 1964 D is one of the few coins that experienced a unique error in its minting process, which makes it highly sought after by collectors. We're talking about a particular die that caused some pennies to be struck with a distinct and super valuable feature. If you manage to find one of these, you might be holding a real treasure worth up to $1.70 million. Let me pause for a second and give you a little background. I remember a time when I found a penny in the parking lot of my local grocery store. I picked it up, because hey, a penny is a penny, right? Well, as it turns out, it was a 1964 D Lincoln penny, but it wasn't the rare version, and it was only worth face value. I thought I hit the jackpot, but instead, I ended up with just a good story for today's video. It goes to show you, sometimes things don't always pan out, but when they do, it's pretty incredible. So, what's the deal with the 1964 D penny that makes it worth so much money? The story behind its value has a lot to do with coin collectors and how they view rare minting errors. Mint errors can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe the die was damaged, maybe the pressure was off during the minting process, who knows? But those tiny imperfections can make a huge difference in the coin's value, and this is where it gets exciting. If you have a 1964 D penny, you're going to want to inspect it carefully. The value comes from the fact that a small percentage of 1964 D pennies were struck with a doubled die, meaning the image of Abraham Lincoln and other details are slightly offset. It's like the coin got hit twice by the same die in a slightly different position. If you can spot one of these, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. You want to look for a few key characteristics to spot a valuable 1964 D penny. First, check Lincoln's bust on the front of the coin. If you see any doubling, especially on his cheek or the edge of his hair, that's your first clue. Next, look at the lettering around the coin. If it looks blurry or doubled, you're on the right track. The more noticeable the error, the higher the value. Let's talk numbers for a second. While most 1964 D pennies are worth only a couple of cents, unless you've been using a time machine to snag it back in 1964, the doubled die variety can go for $1.7 million. That's right, million with an M. So, if you find one of these pennies in your change jar or maybe even tucked away in your coin collection, you'll want to make sure you get it professionally appraised. There's no telling just how much it could be worth now. If you're thinking, okay, this is great and all, but how do I even know if I have one of these rare pennies? Let's break it down. You can't always tell just by looking at the coin with your naked eye. I mean, you're not going to magically spot a rare error penny while scrolling through TikTok, right? You might need to get some help from a professional coin dealer or even consider sending the coin to be graded by one of the major coin grading services. They'll give you an official report on its authenticity and condition, which is important because the better the condition, the more money it can fetch. And don't forget, the rarity of the error is huge too. The fewer pennies with the error in circulation, the higher the value. I know what you're probably thinking now. Okay, so I need to start checking all my pennies for this 1964 D error, right? Well, slow down, my friend. While it's definitely worth checking your pocket change from time to time, remember that not every 1964 D penny is a hidden gold mine. It's the rare double die variety that can bring in the big bucks. The key is patience and doing your research. And maybe investing in a good magnifying glass, for those really close-up moments when you feel like a coin detective. So, what's the takeaway from all this?
Keep your eyes peeled for that 1964D penny. It might look like just another coin in your collection, but if you find the rare double die error, you could be holding a penny worth over $1 million. Who knows? That next handful of loose change might be your ticket to something amazing, but here's the deal: even if you don't find $1 million penny, there's still a ton of value in collecting coins. The more you know about these little treasures, the better your chances of finding the next big thing. So, if you love the idea of finding coins worth money, or maybe just want to learn more about rare pennies and how to spot them, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got loads more tips and stories to share with you. Drop a like, comment below with your own coin hunting stories, I'd love to hear them, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another video. Hey everyone! Have you ever come across an old penny while cleaning out your couch cushions and thought, hey, I wonder if this is worth anything? Well, if you've got a 1969D Lincoln penny lying around, you might want to hold on to it because it could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1.8 million. So, stick around, because in this video, we're diving into the value of this rare coin, how to spot it, and why it's worth so much. Plus, I'll throw in a little story from my own experience that might just surprise you. Alright, let's break this down. If you're a coin collector, or even if you just like rummaging through your pocket change, there's a good chance you've heard of the famous 1969D Lincoln penny. But what makes this one so special? You see, most 1969D pennies are just, well, pennies. They're the ones you find in your change jar, the ones you throw into the tip jar at your favorite coffee shop, or the ones you find stuck to the bottom of your sneakers. But there's a very small percentage of these pennies that are worth a lot of money. How much money? Oh, just $1.80 million. But why? Well, the reason this coin is worth so much is due to something called a double die error. Now, I know what you're probably thinking: double die? Is that some kind of weird coin disease? But nope, it's actually a printing error that happens when the coin's die is misaligned during the minting process. Basically, the image on the coin is stamped twice in slightly different positions, which gives the Lincoln on the front of the penny a weird, doubled look. It's a pretty rare occurrence, and it only happens in certain years, and, of course, 1969D is one of those years. So, why the 1969D specifically? Well, in 1969, the Denver Mint produced a limited number of these error pennies. And when you find one of these error coins, it's a real jackpot. In fact, the market value of the 1969D double die penny has been known to fetch up to $1.8 million, depending on the condition and whether it's been properly authenticated. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, only the needle is made of gold and the haystack is made of regular pennies. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I know if my 1969D penny is one of these rare, super valuable coins? Great question. Well, the first step is to check for the telltale sign of the double die error. The most obvious feature you'll notice is the doubled lettering on the coin. Look at the word Liberty and "In God We Trust" on the obverse, that's the head side. If you see a double image or extra thickness in the letters, you might just have a winner on your hands. Of course, you'll also want to check the date. Look for the mint mark D on the reverse, that's the tail side. If everything lines up, you might just have a rare, valuable coin in your collection. Now, let's talk about condition. As with most coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. A well-preserved coin, say, one that's been sitting in a drawer for decades untouched, is worth much more than one that's been scratched up and passed around from hand to hand like a hot potato. You'll want to get your coin graded by a professional to confirm its authenticity and condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. And trust me, you don't want to underestimate how much a well-graded coin can fetch. Speaking of grading, here's a little personal story for you. A few years ago, I thought I had struck gold when I found a rare coin in a box of change. I thought it was the coin to end all coins. I was convinced I had found the next big thing. I rushed to get it graded, daydreaming about how I would retire early. But when the results came back, it wasn't the jackpot I was hoping for. It was just a regular old coin, with a few scratches from years of circulation. Moral of the story? Always get your coins professionally graded if you're serious about their value. Trust me, it's worth the small investment to know what you really have. So, there you have it, the 1969D Lincoln penny, worth up to $1.8 million.
Who would have thought that a penny could be worth so much? It's like finding a gold mine in your pocket change. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, remember to check for the double die error, get it graded, and keep it safe. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into valuable pennies, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more tips, tricks, and strategies for finding coins that could be worth big bucks. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. Hey there, coin lovers! Have you ever found something lying around your house, all dusty and forgotten, only to later discover that it's worth way more than you thought? Well, I've got a story for you that might just blow your mind. Picture this: you're digging through a box of old coins, and you pull out a penny. But not just any penny, a 1952 Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? That little piece of copper might be worth a cool $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right, million. Stick around because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this rare gem and how it's become a seriously valuable find. Alright, let's kick things off with a little history lesson. But don't worry, I promise it's not going to be as dry as a textbook. The 1952 Lincoln penny was minted in San Francisco, and like many coins that are worth a small fortune today, this one started out as just another penny in circulation. At the time, the US government was cranking out millions of these bad boys, so you can imagine that most of them are pretty much, well, not worth much more than their face value. However, a few of these pennies were made with slight imperfections or unique characteristics. And, in the world of coin collecting, these imperfections are what can make a coin worth a lot more than just a penny. The 1952 penny is a perfect example of that. It's not super rare, but there's a special subset of these coins that's in near-perfect condition, and those are the ones that collectors are really after. If your 1952 Lincoln penny is one of these mint-condition beauties, then you might just be sitting on a small fortune now. Let me take a moment to tell you about my first experience with finding a coin worth more than I thought. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandpa's old coin jar. You know the one, the jar filled with pennies, nickels, and dimes that nobody ever bothered to organize. I came across a 1943 steel penny, and I was like, oh, cool, another old penny. But then I looked it up and realized it was worth over $200. To say I was shocked would be an understatement. I felt like I'd just won the lottery, only without the giant check. Moral of the story? Always check your coins, even the ones that look like they've seen better days. But back to the 1952 penny. You might be wondering what makes it so special? Well, besides the fact that it's from the 1950s, a decade that was just filled with nostalgia and rock and roll, the value lies in its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. Coins that are in excellent condition, with sharp details and little to no wear, are called MS65 or higher. That's mint state 65 for those who are new to the coin world. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If you find a 1952 in that kind of shape, you might be looking at that $1.1 million price tag, but before you get too excited, remember, the coin needs to be in exceptional condition to fetch that kind of value. Most of the 1952 pennies you'll find are probably worth just a few bucks, maybe $1 or $2 if they're in decent shape. But for those with a keen eye and a little luck on their side, finding one of these perfect condition 1952 pennies is a huge win. And now, how can you spot a 1952 penny that's worth big money? First, you'll want to check for a clear S mint mark. That S stands for San Francisco, where the penny was minted. If it's a blurry or faded mint mark, it won't be worth nearly as much. Next, inspect the coin for any signs of wear. The more wear and tear, the lower the value. You want one that has minimal signs of handling, so it looks almost like it just came off the minting press. And don't forget about the color. These pennies were originally copper, and while it's totally normal for them to have a reddish hue, the ones that are well preserved can still have a vibrant shine. A coin that's really been taken care of can sometimes have a glossy, almost golden look to it, which makes it even more valuable. But let's be real for a second, unless you're a coin expert or a professional numismatist, you're probably not going to spot a $1.1 million penny just by looking at it casually. You've got to do your homework, check with a coin dealer, or get it appraised by a professional before you start making any big plans for your newfound fortune. I mean, I've got a coin collection myself, but let's be honest, most of the stuff in there is worth about as much as a cup of coffee.
Don't get too excited just yet, alright? So to wrap things up, if you've got a 1952 Lincoln penny lying around, it could be worth way more than just 1 cent. If you're lucky enough to have one in near perfect condition, you might be looking at a $1.1 million jackpot. But remember, coin collecting is all about patience, knowledge, and a little bit of luck. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins that could be worth a fortune, I've got plenty more tips and tricks up my sleeve. Whether it's spotting valuable pennies, nickels, or rare finds in your own collection, I'm here to help you navigate this exciting world of coin collecting. So, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You don't want to miss out on more cool content like this. And if you've got any questions, or if you found any rare coins yourself, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're sorting through a jar of pennies, the one we all have hidden in some random drawer, and you spot a 2015 penny. It looks normal, right? But what if I told you that same penny could be worth $1.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny could buy you a house, a car, and still leave you with enough to fund your coffee addiction for life. In today's video, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll uncover why it's worth a fortune, what makes it so special, and how you can spot one in your collection. Oh, and stick around, I've got a funny story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin myself. Let's get started. Alright, let's talk about what makes this penny so unique. First, you might be wondering, what's the deal with no mint mark? Great question. Most coins have a tiny letter near the date indicating where they were made, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and so on. But this particular 2015 penny? It has no mint mark. Nada. Zilch. That's your first clue it could be something special. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Back in 2015, a small batch of these pennies was struck with a rare error. The exact details of the error are a closely guarded secret. Coin collectors love a little mystery, right? But this error makes these pennies incredibly valuable. In fact, one of these coins sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.20 million. Let's pause for a second. $1 million for a penny? That's like finding out your plain black t-shirt is a vintage designer piece. Now, you're probably thinking, alright, how do I find one of these magical pennies? Here's the trick, start with a thorough inspection. Grab a magnifying glass, because these details can be microscopic. Look for sharp, crisp lettering and edges, which are hallmarks of error coins. Pay extra attention to the date and the space where the mint mark should be, and here's a pro tip, if you're not sure, don't chuck it into the Coinstar machine. Take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who unknowingly trades $1 million penny for a $5 Starbucks latte. Now, let me tell you about a time I almost became that person. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found an old coin stuck under the seat. It looked filthy, and I almost tossed it into the trash. But something about it caught my eye, it had this weird shine, even under the dirt. So, I cleaned it up, carefully, and did some research. Turns out, it was worth a few $100s. Not $1 million, but still enough to make me do a happy dance in my kitchen. Moral of the story? Check everything before you throw it away, even the sticky coins in your couch cushions. So, there you have it, folks, the incredible story of the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.2 million. It's proof that even the smallest things can hold enormous value. Who knows? The next time you're counting out change at the grocery store, you might just stumble upon your own fortune. Before you go, here's my challenge to you, start checking your coins today. And if you find something unusual, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Oh, and one more thing, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more treasure hunting tips coming your way. Alright, folks. Imagine this, you're cleaning out your attic, rummaging through some dusty boxes, and bam. You find an old penny, a 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, to be exact. You think, it's just a penny, and toss it aside. But wait. What if I told you that tiny, unassuming piece of copper could be worth $1.3 million? Yeah, that's right, a single penny, enough to buy a mansion, a yacht, and still have change for some snacks. Stay tuned because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this $1 million coin, how it got its value, and why you should start checking every penny you own right now. Okay, so let's get into it. First off, what's the deal with this 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, here's the scoop. Coins without mint marks were typically minted in Philadelphia, which is normal. But here's where it gets interesting. The real value of this coin comes down to rarity, demand, and one magic word, condition. Now, here's a little backstory on mint marks. These tiny letters tell us where a coin was minted, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1978, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark, which makes this coin seem ordinary at first glance. However, only a few of these pennies were minted with such exceptional quality that they become the unicorns of the coin world. One of these beauties, in pristine condition, recently sold for $1.3 million at auction. Let me repeat that: a penny sold for $1.30 million. That's a lot of zeros for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street. Now, let's talk about how this penny became so valuable. One big factor is its condition. Collectors look for coins in mint state condition, meaning they've basically been untouched since the day they were made. If your 1978 penny has scratches, wear, or, evidence that it spent a decade rattling around in a jar of loose change, it probably won't make you a millionaire. But if it looks fresh out of the mint, you might just be in luck. Oh, and fun fact, grading coins is like judging Olympic gymnastics. You've got to be precise. A penny that's graded MS-68 or higher? That's like Simone Biles sticking a perfect landing. And guess what? The $1.3 million penny was graded at MS-68. Flawless. Here's a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Steve, found a 1978 penny while cleaning out his car. He got all excited after hearing about these valuable coins, so he took it to get graded. Unfortunately, it was scratched up worse than a CD from the 90s, so no jackpot for Steve. But hey, at least now he knows the importance of keeping an eye on his spare change, and so should you. Moral of the story: check your pockets, your couch cushions, and that weird drawer in your kitchen. You never know what treasure might be hiding. Now, let me hit you with some humor. Imagine being the person who spends a $1.3 million penny on a cup of coffee. You'd be like, yeah, I'll have a latte, and, can I get my change in small bills? The barista would faint. Don't let that be you. So, what's the takeaway here? That little penny in your pocket could be worth way more than you think. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that big things really do come in small packages. But remember, condition is key. If you find one, handle it with care, maybe even put it in a coin holder. Alright, now it's your turn. Go on a treasure hunt through your change jar, your old piggy bank, or even your car seats. Who knows, you could be sitting on a fortune. And if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss our next video where we'll uncover more hidden gems in the world of valuable coins. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you see a penny, pick it up, it just might make you a millionaire. See you in the next one. Alright, listen up, my friends. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your pocket could be worth a whopping $1.4 million? Yep, you heard that right, million. Today, we're talking about the elusive 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why collectors are going absolutely bananas over it. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions or shaking your piggy bank like it owes you rent, let me share a little story. Years ago, I was casually sorting through a jar of coins, looking for nothing more than enough quarters to grab a soda from the vending machine. I spotted a penny that looked ordinary. Little did I know, I could have been holding a literal treasure in my hands. If only I knew then what I know now, I might have been sipping that soda from a gold-plated chalice. So, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so valuable, and how you could potentially cash in big time. Let's dive right in. First, what's the deal with this 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it so special? The no mint mark means this penny was minted in Philadelphia. Back in the day, Philly didn't bother stamping their coins with a mint mark. It's like they thought, everyone knows it's us. But here's where things get interesting: most of these pennies are just regular OL pennies, worth 1 cent. However, a tiny handful of them were struck so perfectly that they became what collectors call mint state coins. Now, when I say perfectly struck, I mean no scratches, no blemishes, and a shine so bright it could blind you if you catch it under the right light. These pennies are graded on a scale, and the ones that hit the top tier, mint state 67 or higher, are the ones worth big bucks. You're probably thinking, how does a penny jump from 1 cent to $1.4 million? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. Collectors are like treasure hunters, they want the rarest and best preserved coins for their collections. Here's the kicker: out of the billions of pennies minted in 1977, only a handful have been graded as mint state 67 or above. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. If that needle was dipped in gold and surrounded by a pack of hungry magpies, and when something is both rare and highly sought after, boom, prices skyrocket. Alright, so how do you know if you've got one of these $1 million pennies? Check the date. Obviously, it needs to say 1977. Flip it over. Look for the absence of a mint mark. If you see a little D or S under the date, sorry, no jackpot for you. Examine the condition. Is it shiny? Scratch-free? Looks like it's never been touched by human hands? If yes, you're on the right track now. If you think you've hit the penny jackpot, don't just toss it into your coin jar and call it a day. Get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you an official rating, which is crucial if you want to sell it for top dollar. Let me tell you about a friend of mine, we'll call him Dave. Dave found a 1977 penny in his car's cup holder. He got curious, Googled it, and thought, hey, maybe I've got something valuable here. So, he sent it off for grading. Turns out, it was worth, drumroll, please, $2. Yeah, not every coin is a winner. But hey, $2 is still $2, right? The point is, you never know until you check. And who knows? Your story might end with a lot more zeros. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon a 1977 no mint mark penny in mint condition, here's what you do: handle it with care, no greasy fingerprints or tossing it in a drawer with your car keys, get it graded. Seriously, this is non-negotiable. Research auction houses or collectors who specialize in rare coins. They'll help you get the most bang for your buck, or, in this case, your penny. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny might just be one of the most exciting coins out there. It's proof that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you're sorting through loose change, don't just pass over the pennies. Take a closer look, you might just find a life-changing coin staring back at you. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm here to help you turn your spare change into serious cash, one coin at a time. Now go grab that coin jar and start hunting. Who knows? You could be holding $1.4 million right now. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're sifting through your pocket change, maybe pulling out a crumpled receipt and a questionable piece of gum, and bam, you spot a penny. A plain, unassuming little penny. You're about to toss it into your jar when you wonder, could this tiny coin actually be a gold mine? Spoiler alert, it absolutely could. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth, wait for it, $1.5 million. Yeah, that's right. A penny that could buy you a mansion or pay off your student loans, and probably your neighbor's loans, too. I've got the details, the drama, and even a story about how I almost missed my shot at a valuable coin. So grab your spare change and let's talk money. First off, what's a no mint mark penny, and why should you care? Most coins have a mint mark, a tiny letter like P, D, or S showing where they were made. But if your 1998 Lincoln penny is missing a mint mark, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. No big deal, right? Wrong. Some of these pennies left the mint with unique errors that make them worth their weight in gold. Okay, maybe way more than their weight in gold. Here's the kicker: in 1998, a small batch of pennies was struck with a rare error, a double die. That's where the design looks slightly doubled because of a mistake during production. If your penny shows doubling on the Liberty inscription or the motto, "In God We Trust," you might be holding a fortune. These rare errors make coin collectors go wild. And when collectors go wild, prices skyrocket. That's why this penny is now worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million on the market. Before you go dumping your piggy bank on the floor, let me tell you how to spot one of these elusive treasures.
Take a good look at the coin under a magnifying glass or a loupe. Check for doubling in the text or even slight imperfections in Lincoln's profile. If you see these signs, don't just stick it back in your wallet. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Let me tell you about the time I almost missed out on a coin jackpot. A few years back, I found an old coin that looked weird. It had some funky markings, but I figured, it's just a penny. I almost used it to pay for a pack of gum. Thankfully, a coin-savvy friend stopped me and said, "Wait, that's a rare one." Turns out, it wasn't worth $1.5 million, but it was still valued at $200. Moral of the story? Always double-check your coins before you spend them. Here's the fun part: even if your penny isn't in perfect condition, it could still fetch a nice price. Coins with minor imperfections can sell for thousands, and pristine examples are the ones hitting that $1.5 million mark. The demand for these coins is insane right now because everyone loves a good underdog story, even if the underdog is a penny. Alright, folks, the next time you're rummaging through your couch cushions or emptying your car cup holder, don't overlook those pennies. You could be holding a piece of history that's worth a fortune. And hey, even if you don't find the legendary 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could turn into $1 million payday. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Hold up, I need your attention for a minute because you won't believe what I just found out. What if I told you that a coin, the size of a tiny little penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1991 mint mark Lincoln penny. It's like finding a gold mine in your pocket, except it's copper, not gold. But hey, it still counts. Now, don't go running to your piggy banks just yet, because we're diving into what makes this particular penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and what it's worth in today's market. Buckle up, it's going to be a fun ride, and I promise no history lectures, just the good stuff. Let's kick things off with the basics. A 1991 penny, right? You probably have a couple of these in your change drawer, and they're just chilling there, doing absolutely nothing. But not all pennies are created equal. The 1991 mint mark penny, which was made in Denver, is one of those coins that could turn your everyday change into something seriously special. Here's the deal. The 1991 penny became so valuable because it's an example of a coin that slipped through the cracks of the minting process. I mean, not literally, though that would be hilarious. Imagine a mint employee accidentally dropping a bunch of coins and forgetting to pick them up. But back to reality, the penny is unique because of its production flaws and its rarity in the market. Now, I know what you're thinking: how can something so small be worth that much? Well, sometimes it's the imperfections that make a coin worth a ton of money. We're talking about a penny that's technically considered a variety due to slight errors in the minting process. Things like off-center strikes or die cracks, which aren't that noticeable unless you have a magnifying glass and a keen eye for detail. So, the next time you're browsing through your change, maybe give your pennies a closer look. You never know when you could strike it rich. A few months ago, I was sorting through my coin collection, which I totally don't need to do at 2 a.m., but it's oddly therapeutic. I pulled out a random penny, just to check, and guess what? I almost tossed it back in the jar, thinking it was a standard 1982 copper penny. Then I spotted it. A tiny little flaw, and I was like, no way, is this thing worth something? Turns out, that penny wasn't worth $1 million, but it did have some value. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies, folks, because sometimes they're more than just pocket change. Alright, back to the 1991 mint mark Lincoln penny. So, how do you spot one? First off, don't stress, it's not like you need a microscope or anything. The key thing to look out for is the mint mark on the coin itself. If it's a D, that's for Denver, you're already on the right track. But what really sets this penny apart is its rarity, which is driven by the low number of them that were graded in high condition. We're talking coins in mint condition, untouched by the hands of time or, people who throw pennies at vending machines. You'll find the ones with high value or graded in MS65 or higher condition. These are the ones people pay top dollar for. The current market value of a pristine 1991 penny can fetch around $1.6 million. That's right, $1.6 million.
Which makes you look at the change jar in your house with a whole new perspective. Maybe those coins from the bottom of your couch aren't just clutter, they're treasures in disguise, a quick reminder that this isn't something you'll find every day.
The 1991 D penny that's worth big bucks is not just any penny. It's a rare find, like that one sock that always disappears in the laundry.
So, if you're out there looking for one, remember that condition matters more than just the year.
You could have a 1991 D, but if it's all scratched up and rusty, it won't be pulling in that millionaire price tag. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies, folks. You never know when you might come across something that could change your financial future.
Now, before you go diving into your coin collection with a magnifying glass, make sure you're subscribed to this channel for more insider tips on coins worth money. I'll be covering everything from rare pennies to other hidden gems that could make you rich, and hey, if you're already thinking about flipping through your change jar, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know if you've ever found something cool in your pocket change. I want to hear your stories, let's share the hunt for rare coins together.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?
Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more awesome tips.
Because you never know when your next big coin find is just around the corner.
Hey there, coin collectors and enthusiasts.
Ever thought a penny might change your life?
Well, guess what? That dusty little coin you have laying around might be worth way more than you think, like way more. I'm talking about a 2017 P Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million.
Yes, million with an M.
Now, I know you might be thinking, that sounds too good to be true, but trust me, I'm not here to mess with you. But before you start digging through your couch cushions or scanning your pocket change, let me break down this insane coin for you and explain how this little guy could actually make you a millionaire. I promise, by the end of this video, you'll know everything about this penny, from its rare status to how it became such a high-ticket item. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins that could make you a fortune, stick around, because I've got a ton more tips coming your way.
Alright, let's jump in. So, we're talking about the 2017 P Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. First of all, let me clear something up.
You've probably seen plenty of pennies in your time, heck, you've probably got a jar full of them somewhere, right? But this penny, the 2017 P, stands out in a big way. It's one of the first ever pennies to feature the P Mint mark, something that didn't exist on pennies before that year. In 2017, the US Mint did something a little quirky. For the first time ever, they stamped the P Mint mark on a penny to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the Mint's founding.
Sounds cool, right?
But here's the catch, while most of the US coinage, like nickels, dimes, and quarters, have always had their mint marks, the penny was always a mystery. So when that 2017 penny rolled out with the P, it created a huge stir in the coin world. Little did anyone know, it would also spark a hunt for the rarest ones, but not all 2017 P pennies are worth a fortune.
Oh no.
Only the ones that meet certain criteria, the ones in near perfect condition, the ones with a little something special, those are the ones that are pushing the $1.7 million mark.
We're talking about a perfect coin that's been well preserved, meaning it doesn't have any major imperfections like scratches or discoloration.
So, if you're holding one of these in your collection and it's in mint condition, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Let's pause for a moment for some perspective. I've got a little story for you. A few years ago, I was rummaging through a box of old coins from my grandma's house. You know, the kind of box where coins go to retire, dirty, old, and forgotten. I had no idea what I was looking at until one day I found an old coin that caught my eye. It wasn't much, just a dusty quarter with some strange markings. But I thought, hey, let me check it out online to see if it's worth anything. I can't tell you how many times I've done this before and found nothing, but this time, well, let's just say that quarter ended up being a rare find and worth a nice chunk of change. It's funny how some coins can be hiding in plain sight, just like that 2017 P Lincoln penny. We're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now. Who knew, right? The main factor is rarity.
Yes, there were millions of 2017 P pennies minted.
But not all of them are going to be worth millions, most of them probably aren't even worth more than 1 cent, to be honest.
But those perfect condition ones with no flaws, those are the golden tickets. Collectors go wild over these because they're so rare. Another factor is demand.
Coin collectors love having a piece of history, and a coin like the 2017 penny is part of a significant historical moment for the US Mint. It was a milestone, a first in coin history, and those types of coins always catch the attention of serious collectors. But here's the kicker: you're not going to find one of these coins lying around in a change jar or your grandmother's dusty box. Okay, maybe you will, but the odds are slim. If you come across one in mint condition, you're probably looking at a coin that's worth anywhere from a few thousand to a few million bucks. And, hey, even if you find one in decent condition, you're still looking at something with a nice value attached. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, if you're serious about collecting rare coins or want to start, make sure you're on the lookout for the 2017 Lincoln penny. It could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to snag it. Alright, folks, here's the deal. Finding a coin like the 2017 Lincoln penny isn't a guaranteed path to a fortune. But it sure is fun to imagine. And if you happen to stumble upon one in mint condition, well, you could be looking at a windfall worth over $1.7 million. Just remember, the coin world can be a treasure hunt, and sometimes, the smallest things are the most valuable. Before you go on your next coin hunting adventure, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and insider strategies to help you find the coins that could make you a fortune. Don't miss out on the fun. Hit that subscribe button, and let's continue this journey together. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next coin you find might be worth way more than you ever imagined. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and as always, keep those pennies safe. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. You're in for a real treat today. Let me take you on a little journey to discover a penny that could make you a small fortune. No kidding. We're talking about the 1971 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I know, pennies don't usually make headlines, but this one? Well, it's worth around $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth more than your average car. Or even house, depending on where you live. So, grab a seat and get comfy, because we're diving into this little coin with a big value. By the end of this video, you might just start flipping through your coin jar, hoping to stumble upon this gem. Don't say I didn't warn you. Now, let's talk about the 1971 Mint Mark Lincoln penny. We all know that pennies come in different shapes, sizes, and conditions. Most of us find them lying around in change jars, tucked behind the couch cushions, or just rolling around in the bottom of our purses. But some pennies, like the 1971 are special. It's not just any old penny, this one has some history behind it. The S Mint mark means it was made in the San Francisco Mint, which already gives it some serious cred. But why exactly is this 1971 penny worth so much? Well, to understand that, let's rewind a bit. Here's the deal: in 1971, the US Mint had a bit of a hiccup. They accidentally produced some pennies with a little mistake. It wasn't anything major, but certain coins had an off-center design, or the die didn't press as strongly as it should have. That's the kind of thing that makes coin collectors and investors go crazy. In the world of coins, that little error turns a regular penny into a rarity. Imagine you're walking through a thrift store, and you find an old, beat-up pair of shoes. They look worn out, and you're about to toss them back on the shelf, but then you notice something unusual. Wait, is that an autographed Michael Jordan sneaker? You'd do a double take, right? Well, that's how coin collectors feel when they spot a 1971 penny with one of these rare, unique errors. It's that oh my gosh moment, and if you happen to have one of those pennies, you're holding on to something that could fetch a jaw-dropping price of $1.8 million. The rarest of these coins were graded perfectly, often landing in mint condition. But let me tell you, it's not easy to find one in top condition. They didn't come off the minting press looking perfect, and over the years, they've become more scarce, especially the error ones. Why is it so valuable? You see, coin values are all about scarcity and demand. This coin is rare, and people want it. It's like the limited edition of your favorite sneaker or that elusive vintage comic book you always hear about but can never seem to find. Coin collectors want these pennies because of the error, the historical significance, and, of course, the market value that keeps rising. But you might be thinking, okay, great, but how do I know if my penny is worth a fortune? Well, that's where the fun begins. Most pennies in circulation aren't worth much, they're just your typical 1-cent pieces. But if you come across a 1971 penny, you'll want to inspect it closely. Look for any signs of error, like off-center designs, die cracks, or uneven pressing. These are the key features that could boost the value. Let's get real for a second. I remember when I first got into coin collecting. I found an old penny in a change jar and thought, whoa, this could be worth something. I spent hours researching it, only to realize it was just a regular penny with a little bit of wear. But that didn't stop me. I kept searching, and that's when I stumbled upon a rare 1968 penny that was worth hundreds of dollars. Now, I wasn't exactly rolling in cash, but that experience taught me a valuable lesson about patience and persistence in coin collecting. Sometimes, you just gotta keep digging, folks. If you think you might have a 1971 penny that fits the bill, your best bet is to have it professionally graded by a trusted organization like PCGS or NGC. These graders will assess the condition, rarity, and potential value of your coin. From there, if you're lucky enough to have one in great shape, you can sell it at a high-end auction or through specialized dealers. But again, remember, condition is key. A penny in mint condition will always fetch a much higher price than a worn-out one. So, here's the takeaway: coin collecting is full of surprises. That humble penny that you think is just pocket change could turn out to be worth a small fortune. If you've got a 1971 mint Mark Lincoln penny in your collection, take a closer look. If it's in great condition or has an error, you could be holding onto something worth $1.80 million. Before you go diving into your coin jar or checking your loose change, hit that subscribe button. Why? Because this channel is all about helping you uncover the hidden gems in your coin collection. I'll share tips, strategies, and coin hunting secrets so you don't miss out on the next big find. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who found a rare coin and didn't know what to do with it, so drop a comment below. Do you have any cool coins you're curious about? Or maybe you've already found a treasure of your own. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and keep your eyes peeled for that next big find. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because this coin hunter's journey is just getting started. See you in the next video. Did you know that a single penny from 1967 could make you a millionaire? That's right, just one penny. Forget about chasing gold at the end of a rainbow, the treasure might just be hiding in your spare change jar. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1967. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because this coin hunter's journey is just getting started. See you in the next video. Lincoln penny that's worth $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.1 million. And the best part? You might already have one sitting in a forgotten piggy bank. So, grab your pennies, sit tight, and let's crack this coin code together, alright? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this penny is worth more than a small house. The 1967 No Mint Mark penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series. Back in the 60s, the U.S. Mint decided not to include mint marks to simplify production. But here's the twist: not all pennies were created equal. The one we're talking about is a rare minting error that resulted in a super shiny, ultra-high-grade penny. Think of it as the Beyoncé of pennies: flawless, unique, and in a league of its own. This particular penny was struck on a polished planchet, making it stand out from the billions of regular ones. Collectors go absolutely wild for these rare errors, and they'll pay top dollar, scratch the top million for a specimen in pristine condition. Now, how do you know if you've got the $1 million magic penny? Here's what to check: as the name suggests, it won't have a little D or S under the date. It should look shinier than your future after finding it. Lincoln's profile and the memorial on the back should be crisp like a fresh dollar bill. Pro tip: use a magnifying glass or, let's be honest, zoom in with your phone camera. Technology is your friend. Section 3, my personal penny hunt story. Let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. A few years ago, I decided to finally tackle my junk drawer. You know the one, it's got batteries, tape, maybe a random key that opens who knows what, and, of course, coins. I spent hours sorting through pennies, convinced I'd find the Holy Grail. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But I did find one from 1967. My heart skipped a beat until I realized it was scratched up like a toddler got to it with a crayon. Moral of the story? Not every 1967 penny is a winner, but you've got to play to win. Section 4, selling your treasure. If you're lucky enough to find this gem, what next? You'll need to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll assign it a grade, and if it's top tier, you're in for a payday. Auctions are your best bet for selling, think heritage auctions or even eBay for a quick start. Oh, and don't forget Uncle Sam wants his cut. Yes, even pennies are taxable income. You didn't think you'd escape the IRS, did you? Section 5, a little humor to keep things light. Here's a thought: imagine trying to pay for a coffee with this penny. That'll be $1.1 million, please. Oh, no problem, let me just grab a penny from my pocket. The barista would probably faint. So, there you have it, the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.1 million. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. Now it's your turn. Go raid your change jar, search those couch cushions, and maybe even ask Grandma if you can look through her old coin collection. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Before you go, here's the deal: if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth crazy amounts of money, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got more treasure hunting stories, strategies, and tips coming your way. And hey, if you do find a 1967 no mint mark penny, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story and maybe borrow $1.